Hello, everyone. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. I am Richard Carlton, creator of FM Trend TV, where every day is a great day to learn about the FileMaker platform. Today is a continuing conversation on coding and scripting for beginners, right? And or intermediate developers to a level I think is also really good for you. The advanced programming is really not what today's forte is. If you want to support the channel, greatly appreciate you purchasing one of the bundles and doing that here. If you go to fmtrain.tv, up here at the left tab right here is the live training button. And then you have the bundles button over here, which is very exciting. Moving forward with today's conversation. So we had this conversation last week about the mechanics of coding, right? And I want to rehab this, recapture this concept. That once again, today's conversation, my goal is to make you successful, to help you, but I'm trying to once again follow this formula, the formula of success for beginning and intermediate developers. And this is essentially it right here. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to fire up. This is FileMaker, what we call 2023. I'm going to hit host here, and I'm going to go to, what is it? Is it the live stream one? I could add that one, I guess, right?
Yes.
Or stream.
It's stream.rcc.com.
Yeah. And these are the copies of FileMaker that we have here. I'm going to log on to this one right here, see if it works. Am I in? There we are. We are in. All right. So the mechanics of scripting. Once again, last time on the show, we were talking about mechanical scripting. We're talking about this concept of taking taking an invoice and duplicating it, right? That was the idea, Margaret? Was it an invoice? I think it was an invoice, right?
We're taking an estimate and converting it into an invoice.
Well, that's for today. Last time.
Oh, last time we did GTRR, I think, right?
We did that, but the whole idea was to basically take, I'm trying to figure out where that file's even at, but we were taking an invoice and duplicating it, right?
We have that we saved that file. Hold on. That's a link. Let me grab that for you.
Are you going to grab me a link?
I'm going to grab you a download link.
How do we get the download link from last time? Because it's a really good little sample file.
It should be posted with the YouTube, but I'll just grab it out of our database. So coding mechanic.
So this is the day 1 and day 2 of this, and I guess we're going to continue this. I'm going to close the other one here. And so this is it right here. So let me go to scripts. If I go down here to, where was that at, Margaret? Where was that at? The scripts that we were working on. Are there invoices under processes?
I think they were invoices.
There we go. Process.
Oh, it'll be the ones that are check marked because you didn't uncheck them. So
yes, they're checked right there. So the idea last time is that we wanted to take an invoice and duplicate it. And the tricky part about a relational database is that just hitting Command D to duplicate the record will duplicate the record you're on, but an invoice is actually more than one record. It's a parent record, and then it's a children record. So if I come back over here, I'm going to hit Command H. Hopefully Discord's still running successfully. But if you come over here to invoices, you're going to get into a situation where we see that this is, if we remove this out of the way over here, just focus on this part right here. This is the invoice parent record, and these are the invoice child records right there. So an invoice is actually this one record here, plus these 3 related records. These are in the line items. This is the line item section here, okay? And so we said, hey, we want to be able to duplicate this, and we came up with this whole song and dance. And if we go back to pages real quick and look at this, you want to pretend that a coworker calls you on the phone, very important, and they ask you how to solve this process. So they call you and they say, how do I duplicate an invoice? And you need to be able to verbally articulate, walk them through, or at least in your own mind, kind of with a mouse, show them. Maybe it was a Zoom call or a GoToMeeting or something, WebEx, and you could show them what to do. But if you can tell them, the reason I say over the phone is because it forces you to give them step-by-step instructions, because that's what the scripting is. It's step-by-step instructions. So open the database. Okay, I'm in the database. Okay, go to this layout. Yes, go to this layout. And then hit the Command D to duplicate. Oh, I duplicated it. Okay, now what do I do? Those are the instructions. This is what makes it work. So let's say, for example, that I am an invoice in estimates here, and I want to move an estimate to an invoice. Now the script is already in here, but I don't want to look at that script. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to create a new one here. And are these 1300 Ava tax is at 1240. I'm just going to delete Ava tax. I think that is no longer supported. It shouldn't be in the light version anyway. So I'm just going to hit delete.
I'll add that to the notes.
Yeah, let the note. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a new script over here, create a new script, and it's going to be called, I think I put 5 spaces in front of them, everyone, just as me, so they indent. Notice that there's an indent over here a little bit. This was done before, I started indenting with spaces before Claris did this hierarchical folder thing, because if you come over here and you turn invoices, you turn that, you see how it kind of indents? Back in the old days, it didn't indent, so we always would put spaces in front of the number. Anyway, so this is the script. So I come over here, I can then click on it once, wait, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, parentheses, 1242. Now this is in the invoices folder up here under invoices. It really would belong to estimates. I would move it up, but I'm going to keep these together for now. Take estimate and move to invoice, okay? So if I want to duplicate or take an estimate and turn it into invoice, what should I tell the person to do first if they call me on the phone? It's Mohammed is calling me from the office, and he is confused on how to take an estimate and turn it into an invoice because he has a customer who accepts the estimate and wants the invoice, so now they can issue it to the payables department in finance to pay it, right? So what do we tell Mohammed to do? Step 1, Mark and David. Here we go. Let's go. Duplicate the layout, change the table for the layout, go to every field and redirect. Duplicate the layout. Okay, so back up. I'm misstating this. Let me David Angel, let's try this again. Okay, this is on me. I am telling an end user wants to have a button that you press, not build it and under the hood mechanics. You're correct. If we wanted to build another, I'm talking about basically the idea of scripting a report almost. And I think as we move on through Friday when we try this, we're going to do this with reports as well. But the idea is to build a script that's simply going to do this. It's kind of basic, David, right? It's not building the under the hood development. They asked me for how to build a process that will take a real specific estimate over here, like here it is. Let's call this over here, and we have this right here. It's an angular clamp, but I'm going to remove that. I'm going to assign the account. I'm going to create an account. We'll call it Top Cats Kitties Incorporated. So a bunch of kittens. I don't know, unless he's going to keep them all, they can have to find homes. Top Cats, kitty, let's call it kitty rehoming. Okay, Rehoming Incorporated. Okay, and then that's great. We're going to create the company. It goes up here, and then we're going to, so then we have this estimate. I have one very floofy kitty, right? Floofy kitty. And to rehome it, it's going to be, you got to get it spayed, neutered, and get it shots and make sure it's a loving home. And it's, say the vet gives you a super deal, it's $120 or something like that. So that's the cost of getting the cat rehomed. Okay, so how do we duplicate this, right? So the idea is...
Code to go suggests that step 1 is find the estimate record.
Yeah, so the step 1 is going to be, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put notes in here initially. So we're going to say tell... And then David was, I think, typing the same thing literally. He says copy and paste. Copy and paste. We'll do that too a little bit. That'll be exciting. Tell the user to go to estimate they want to duplicate. Okay. And then, what are you going to? So say we're there, right? Then we want to do is we want to probably
copy all the information, right?
Yeah, so basically what you could do, and I'm going to do this here, copy, let's just say that right here, I'm going to make notes here. I'm not going to code this initially because I think this is potentially interesting. I'm going to say tell the user that they're on the estimate, they want to duplicate, pop open new window, set side by side, okay? And then you could say over here, you could say the next step would be go to the invoice, okay? And then copy the name of the buyer or whatever, right? And this could be the primary key or their name or whatever. Then you could say, go to the invoice window, okay? Then you could say, duplicate that, come down here a little bit. You can say, go to the estimate window. And back in FileMaker 2 and 3, this is the way we did this for the most part, back in the old days. And so literally you get over here and you'd say, paste, okay? Makes sense? And so you have two windows side by side, and you can still do it this way if you want. I'm going to pop a new window over here. You got an estimate over here. And so what you do is you come over to open a new pop a new window in estimates side by side. I would say create a new record, right, in estimates. Or invoice, create a.
Let's say, wouldn't it be invoices and not estimate?
Thank you. I just brain farted. Thank you. Create a new invoice record, right? And so then we have so over here is the one we want to duplicate. Over here is a new one. Then you would go back and forth, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And so you get this flashy stuff that's going on. It's doing the ding, 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 ding really fast. Ding, 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 ding. You see it pulsating, right? And so that's kind of old school how we would do that, right? It makes a lot of sense. It would work. There's technically no reason you can't do it this way. The rub is that if the user is using the clipboard for something else, you have just wiped out their clipboard, which I don't know, back in the old days was not such a deal. We just train them to be aware of that. But in an ideal world, we would do this a little smarter. So this is the original design here. So it's two windows, copy, paste, copy, paste. So let's do it this way. So let's say go to layout, right? And I'm going to actually start coding this, but we're going to code it a little bit smarter. I'm going to go to the estimates. We assume they're already on the estimate they want to be on. I go to estimates. I'm going to say estimates data entry. Ooh, it's got a script trigger on it, right? So maybe I want to go to an estimate that doesn't have a trigger. Does it matter that it has a trigger? This is one of those deals you'd have to be careful with this, right? Certainly.
I mean, is there any benefit to not going to a maintenance layout?
Yeah. So okay. So let me. Given all this, tell the user go to the estimate they want. Okay. So then what we should say is we're going to leave. So the idea is the user's over here and they press this button. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pop a new estimates window and a invoice window when we need it. So we're going to pop two temporary, I don't know, programmer kind of windows for us to support the script. When the script is over, we're going to leave them mostly back where they expected to be. So we're on estimates. We press a button. We're going to pop two windows, which will both be maintenance. One's estimates, one's invoices. If we had to, we can go back and forth. But when we're done, then we're going to close those two windows. We would be over here, but we'd actually want to be on the new invoice. Does that make sense? So normally we would come back to where we started. In this case, we want to end at the new place that we built. Does that make sense, Margaret?
Yes, that makes sense. Sorry, I was muted.
So I'm going to say new window request. Go to layout. Actually, that brings up a thing here. Layout. If I go to maintenance layouts, I'm going to say go to maintenance estimate. There's estimate line items right there, which we're going to eventually need. But let's just start with the estimate itself. So do I have an estimates? I may not have one. Do I see one? Estimate line items.
Estimate line items, invoice line items.
I don't see an estimates. Okay, so.
I mean, there is one at the very top, right? Or just straight estimates, not estimate line items, right? I'm confused.
Okay, we're going to have to actually do this with the estimate and then do it with the estimate line items, right? It's almost like the same code we built before, kind of. Right?
Yes. Well, it's an evolution. Okay. So
Yeah, this is the follow-up.
could you make an estimates line items? Not like a straight estimates
We
invoice?
have to. We have to. I'm just going to create it right now. So I'm going to go to I'm going to go to layout mode. I'm going to say I'm just going to take care of this right now. I'm going to say create a new layout. I'm going to call it maintenance. I'm going to call it I'll call it just for now. I'm just going to create them all. Invoices, computer, form, finish, and there it is. Okay. Now I'm not going to I'm going to get rid of the header off the top, but here it is. Oh, that's estimate. Oh, I screwed that up. Give me 1 second. People be patient. We're doing this.
Back to managing the layout.
Yes, back to managing. I'm going to be in invoices. So these are,
Yes.
there we go. Now I'm going to layout. I'm going to duplicate the layout. I'm going to say layout setup, and I'm going to call it maintenance
Estimates.
estimates. Thank you. Okay. And since I know this is going to be a problem already, we're just going to go ahead and take care of it now. So now at the bottom, we already have these two right here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll relocate them momentarily and give them numbers and everything. But I'm going to do is I'm going to say layout, create a new layout. I'm going to say maintenance. I'm just going to do this. And I know that there's already one in here, but I don't want to, I'll just create a new one because it's almost no penalty for this. Estimates,
Line items.
yeah, and then line items.
And then change the show records from right there.
Yeah, and you got to change this one to estimate line items here. It's a form view, very basic, finish it right there. I could duplicate it. Might be simpler this way to duplicate it. Once again, if you duplicate, you say layout setup. I'm going to say maintenance invoices line items, right? So now we have got the things that we want to use to kind of munge into build invoice line items, right?
Yes, and I'm going to ask the question just for people who haven't realized it yet. You can interact with any field in a layout, and it doesn't have to be actually physically on the layout.
We're going to be using set field and set variable. If you're using copy and paste, like we actually did it with copy and paste, it's got to be on the layout. If you're using the insert script step, it has to insert and copy and paste. They have to be here. Okay. Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just universal. You could interact with them. Okay.
Yeah, because FileMaker simulates almost like user activity when you do copy and paste commands and or you do the insert command, okay? If you do set field, it dives through the layout into the table occurrence underneath, right? So you could put some things over here that are relevant to that, right, or whatever, but I'm just, for the moment, not going to do that. I'm going to close this. I'm going to be over here. I'm on invoices at the moment. We go back to estimates. I'm going to go to manage, file, manage layouts, keyboard shortcut, command, control, or shift, command L or shift, control L. Down at the bottom, I have these maintenance layouts that are right here. There's a maintenance folder here called 1500. I'm going to kind of shove them in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call it L. I'll just call it 1600 for lack of a better. I'm going to copy that real quick, copy that, put that in there, double click, go top, paste it, make it a 1 right there. And then that way they're all in here. Does that make sense? They're all sitting here ready for us to take action on them. Okay, questions?
I don't see any at the moment, so I think you're probably good.
Yeah, so then I can make this a little bigger so we can see that. So there's the names, there's the associated table occurrence. Okay, once again, layouts is connected to a table occurrence. Table occurrence is connected to a base table, right? Those are very, very important concepts. Okay, so I'm gonna close that right there. Where we say new record request, we say go to layout, right? New record request, we don't want that yet. We need the new record request, that's kind of premature. We want to say, what do we want to say here? We want to say go to, am I on the right script? Yeah, I made a mess out of this. All right, so tell the user go to the invoice the estimate. So we assume they're on the estimate they want to duplicate, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, new window command, okay? You can say a new window command, and when you pop a window, you can also, this was a change in recent version of FileMaker, you can specify a layout too. So explicitly, I could say new window, go to layout, new window, but I'm going to do both of them together here. So I'm going to pop a a invoices maintenance, okay? And I'm going to say there's the invoice. Well, let's do estimates first, right? Estimates first. And then I'm going to call it estimate, and I just might call it maint. So we have maintenance underscore estimate. I want to keep it very easy like that, okay? Now we're on that. So then the next thing you would do is you would start setting some variables that you want to capture. I'm going to do one here for everyone. I'm going to say set a variable. I'm going to call it dollar ID account. So if I come over here, I'm going to say insert ID, and I'm on estimates, ID underscore account. Okay, ID account right there. So, but I am on estimates, so I want ID account. ID account. There should be an ID account right there. Okay. There we go. That's what I want. So this is T08. We're going to put it in there. We say, okay. Okay. We say, okay. So what we would do is capture the data that we want to physically transplant, right, to the invoice. I'm going to duplicate another one. I'm going to say ID contact. Okay. And there'd be quite a few things in here. Contact. Come over here. We're still in the estimate. I want ID contact. And it's the problem is giving me all these other ones here. So kind of obnoxious. It should be the default to the local one first. ID constant contact. There we go. Of course, it's doing that. All right, so we've captured these two in variables. So the idea would be that we're here. Then we're going to go ahead and pop I'm going to duplicate this command. I'm going to pop a new window, right? Very basic. We would say maintenance. We want it to be maintenance invoice. Okay, it'll be document window, and the layout will be, we're going to jump to will be the maintenance invoice right here. So now at this point, how many windows do we have open, Margaret? At this point, as soon as we execute step 9 on the line here.
There should be 3 windows in total. Yes,
Correct.
the original window and then the 2 new windows.
Correct. So then we're going to come over here and we're going to say set field. Now, once again, there's no fields on the layout, so I cannot use the insert or copy paste unless I want to put the fields on the layout. I can say set field. This will work. Okay. And I'm going to go over it. Now we're in the context at this point, we'll be in the context of invoices. And we're going to say ID account. And we're going to set that to, this is where if you had monkey bread installed, which I don't think it is right now, you could put the variable in here and it'd help you with this automatically. I'm missing my monkey bread. Mark, can you make sure we install that? So because monkey bread will automatically show you possible values of variables up here, right?
You know, if you opened BVA on that computer, it should auto install, right?
Yeah, but I'll have to quit this and reopen.
Oh, and restart. Never mind, never worth it. I was like, oh, that'd be a speedy way to do it. Okay.
So we're gonna, once again, we're gonna go to that. We're gonna go to contact, and we're gonna say ID. It should be dollar the variable right here, contact. So this makes sense. So we basically copied the variables here, went here, pasted it over here. Okay, makes sense. So you would put a bunch of other variables in here, and so you create what you've done is basically duplicated the parent record. Okay, then we're going to end up popping another new window. So then, and down here it would be, so basically we'll say comment return. We have successfully created the invoice parent record. Okay, and now we need to do the line items, okay? And I can't spell, but I'm typing very rapidly here, okay? And so then we would say, well, we want to do is we want to duplicate or pop open a new window. So now we had 3 windows. Now this will be windows number 4 and 5. Now I'm giving the windows specific names. Notice that I'm doing that. I may have not pointed that out, but I'm being very specific. And I'm going to say, create me invoice line item, okay? And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to see invoice line items, and I want to target the layout to open will be the invoice line items right here. Okay. And technically what I could also do is I could At some point, we're going to open up the other one. We're going to open up the invoices line items. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and do this now. I'm not going to, there's probably some optimization you could do, but I'm not going to do that right here. I'm just going to say invoice line item, okay? Invoice. And if I keep spelling everything kind of consistently, then I'm going to be in a pretty good spot. Hang on. Does this make sense what I'm doing, Margaret? So now we're going to basically recycle what we did from last week. I'm not going to use the GTRR one. I'm going to keep this simple because I don't want to have to troubleshoot GTRR in flight on live TV. Okay, because then sometimes my brain explodes. But here, let's assume that there'd be a bunch more, let's just say set variable, right? There'd be like 3 or 4 or 5 more here, and then those would be down here to finish that up, right? That makes sense? So that's the parent record,
Yes.
parent record, right? Yeah.
And currently there's like 5 windows open, right? Because you haven't closed any of the other ones?
No, I haven't. What I'm gonna do here, right, too, is I'm gonna grab the $ID underscore estimate. I need the estimate prior. Okay, my caps lock must be down. Hang on, let's try that again. $ID underscore estimate. It's ID estimate, right? ID estimate, and that would be the primary on that one, right? And I'm going to say, what's on estimates? I want the ID estimate. There's your primary key right there. So we have that. We're going to definitely need that. And then you could capture it over here on the invoice one, because after you create the record, it's going to create a primary key there. I don't know that well, we probably will need it, but you'll see what's going to happen here momentarily. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, okay? So now what I want to do is I've created these invoices. Let's create a loop to duplicate the line items, okay? And this is very similar to what we did last time. So the first thing we have to do is we're going to go back to our original script, duplicate and preserve the creation order. So what we did over there is that we would pop a new window, and then we did a find to find the line item. So this is kind of what we want to do right here. We want to do a find command. And we're in invoices, but we want to do it in estimates, right? I'm going to copy that little bit and recycle the code. I'm going to come down here. And so when I'm in invoices line items, while I am here, I'm going to have it perform a find to isolate what we need. So I'm going to go to invoices, estimate line items. Margaret, if I don't make sense or say something dumb, you need to stop me, okay?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going to take this variable right there and stick it right here.
Okay. So you're going to take the previously acquired variable and then find it in the estimate line items?
And then I'm going to make a note here. We have isolated the estimate line items. I want to say duplicate, because it's not really we want to copy to invoice. Okay. Yes. Does that make sense? So we popped the invoice, then we did a find command. Okay, makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So then the next thing, so then we're there, right? And then for and giggles, we did spawn this window right here of, I'm going to say we need to, that way the notes are pre-notes, not what we've done, this is what we're going to do. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, let's say, now we're going to spawn invoice line. Spawn, there's a new word for us today. Spawn invoice line items. Okay. So we've created this now. So now what we end up is we're looking at a potential. I'm going to come down here and get rid of these notes here. We're looking at a loop here. Does that make sense? What we're talking about potentially here at this point? We're a loop because we're going to cycle. We're going to copy into variables the elements that make up the estimate line item, and we're going to then jump between windows. Completely.
So, okay, so for a loop, wouldn't you have to hold on. So I'm trying to think about context here, right? Because you're technically juggling 4 contexts simultaneously.
5. We're on 5 windows, but we're only messing with 4. Okay. So how do we control? This is what you're missing. So at the beginning of the loop, I'm going to say, go Is it go to window? Is it select window? Is
I'm
it
about to say, is there a way to select a window other than opening a
I
new one?
I gave them specific names. I gave them names.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
Make sense? So what I can do is I can say select window. And if you, not the current window, I want to go to the name one called, what's it called up there? It was called maintenance invoice.
LI. Wait.
Did I do
Yeah,
that?
maintenance. No, maintenance invoice LI is like right before your script step. So
Well,
go
I want to
down.
go to estimates first. I'm sorry.
Oh, you want to go to
It-
estimate? So
yeah,
maintenance
complete.
estimate,
Is it capital E? Little e.
capital E.
Estimate LI. Okay, so that tells us to go there. Okay, then we're going to set some variables on it, what we got. Okay, then we're going to, and then I'm going to duplicate that. So I'm going to take us to the invoice line items, right? Right? Estimate.
Okay, so yeah, you're taking the invoices, the variables, and then you're going to go to the invoice to make
Yeah.
it.
And then I'm going to say new record, right? And then I'm
Hmm.
going to set the variables there. We can fill these in, but I want to make sure that people understand kind of the structural idea. So this is the copy, that's the paste. This is the copy, that's the paste. This
You
is
want to
the
add that in
copy,
the
that's
comments?
the paste. Okay. This is essentially a copy function. Okay. I'm going to put a return there. Okay. Duplicate. This is going to be, this is essentially a,
And we do have a question.
okay, good. What's the question?
It's about the copy and paste function, actually. Is there a point to using copy and paste over set variable and set field?
They're easier for someone who doesn't know to explain it to someone else. It's a junior moment. If you're brand new to FileMaker, please use copy and paste. The rub is that I can do 4 or 5, like this is copy, 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 go here, paste, 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 paste. And if you do copy and paste, it's only one little, it's like a shoebox, right? This right here is a variable or a field, okay? But we're going to call it a variable, okay? When you do copy and paste, you're putting you're putting something in here. That's copy in, copy in. And then when you paste out, you can take stuff out of here and stick it where you want to go. When you do copy and paste, there's only one box. I know some people go, I can install a program that'll give me unlimited copy. By default, copy, paste. Now, if I'm on the one invoice line item, I'm up here, and I need to do this 5 times. I have to go copy, window, go this window, paste, copy this window, paste. So the windows are going to go. Now you can't do it that way. You can't do it that way. But I'm saying copy, and imagine I had 5 more boxes. Copy, 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 copy. Now jump to the other window. Now let's paste all those boxes in. Paste, 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 paste. Imagine I had 5 boxes. Okay, so the idea is that if you're a brand new user, please use copy and paste. Brand new people, a professional developer, you can't do that. You're not a professional, and it's like, I'm so good, I walk on water. Okay. Success. I want you to be successful. Do what you have to do to be successful. If copy and paste makes you successful and you can make that work, then use it. Understand that the one limitation is besides there's one box for copy paste, so you only got one little box to move around, is that the things that you're copying out of or into have to be on the layout visually in order for them to work. Otherwise, it's like, I'm going to go to my desk and there's nothing on my desk, but I'm going to copy that box. Copy. But there was nothing there, so you copy there. All right, so we're going to go to the estimate layout. We're going to go to here. Then we're going to say end loop. This is interesting right here. I'm going to say go back to, so start on estimates, copy a bunch of stuff, go to here, paste a bunch of stuff, go to estimates, and go to record, right, record next, exit after last, right? Go to record next, exit after last on, okay? Then you're going to come up here and it's going to be kind of redundant. It's going to say go to that estimate. You're already there, so it's unnecessary. So, but Does that make sense? This forces it to cycle at the bottom, but I don't want to run it right here because I don't want to hit next record on this, right? Because you're not going to be going next here. You're going next on the estimates. Okay, make sense, Margaret? No.
Yes, that makes sense. So
this is basically done at this point. What I can do is I'm going to put copy paste in there. I'm going to come down. I'm going to put the minimums in here that we need. Okay, go to estimates, line items, perform, enter find mode, put that in there, get that, perform find will be on the first record. I can just, it's redundant, but I'm going to say go to record. So it's really clear to everyone, go to the first record of the line items, estimate line items. Then pop a new window for, so we have the invoice line items. It's there, it's available, it's already popped. Then we start our looping cycle to loop through the line items, okay? We're going to, let's just say we're going to, this is a, let me go down here like that. And then I'm going to say this is essentially the paste function right here. Okay, kind of like things. Does that make sense? Right? So, or I could move it right here, that whole little section there. I guess you could move that right there like that. Okay, does that make sense? So this is the copy, this is the paste. Loop for every line item. And when you're done, what will we do?
Close all the windows except for the primary. Well, the base window doesn't have a name, so you can't close it anyway.
I think you can. Let's see. Let's try close window. Current window. Aha! Close window. Maintenance underscore invoice line item. Right? We're going to close that one. Yep. Duplicate it. Close the estimate. Right? Because we named them. That's why when you create a window, if you ever have to programmatically come back to it, you better know what the name was. And FileMaker will frequently put the name of the server on it and the solution and a bunch of in there. So even if you call it window A or window B, give it a name that you can come back to, okay? I'm gonna say okay, then I'm gonna keep going because there's 4 windows that we don't want, right? Then we'll be on estimate, and then we'll be on invoice. Actually, I close it. Doesn't matter the order that they're told to close in, I don't believe. Okay, then when we're done, all 4 windows have been closed. We're on the last window. Okay. Hashtag pound, we should be back where we started. And let's go see the new invoice. Now, the rub is I'm about to do something here. I'm going to put some returns in here just so I have some space. I'm going to say, go to layout. I'm going to say, go to layout, invoices, data entry, the official one, so it's pretty. And then I'm going to say, go to last record, or go to record last, okay? Because when we were remember every window has its own like found set and location. So we were on the correct invoice up here when we were on this window up here. We popped this window and we did remember this paste function. We're on the right window here, right? But then we closed that window, so we lost that context. Okay. So this will take us to last, then we should be on the right invoice, but we should, now before we do this, let's just put a couple things in here so the line items can cycle correctly, okay? So we're on invoice line item, we should set variable dollar item, let's just call it dollar description, copy that, and it's gonna be specific to estimates, line items, and then we want it should be a description or the whatever the product.
Maybe no.
Probably product. Okay. We say okay. Okay. We say okay. Then down here we're going to. This is on the paste side.
Oh wait, someone mentioned that shouldn't we do set field for this, for the pastes?
Yeah, we screwed this up. Thank you. This is incorrect. Thank you for I always you always tell the people who are smarter than I am because they come sliding in here right at the last second. So that is correct.
No, I didn't even process it because I was so busy engrossed in the actual mindset before I didn't.
Yeah, the mindset's the important part. Now, then you get down to the mechanics of it and you're like, God, I suck. Right, so come down here. There we go. So it's set variables on the copy side. The paste side is set fields, right?
Yep. Makes sense.
Now I kind of feel bad about that. So I want to be on the invoice line items, and then we're going to go to the, is it product? There's product there. Okay, great. And I'll say specify, and I'll give it the description there. Okay. Let's also get the dollar. Let's get the quantity dollar quantity. So we're gonna set that to on the estimates line items. We want the should be quantity. There we go. Okay. We're gonna come down here. We're gonna set that to invoice. This is why this is so kind of like takes time. But if you understand the mindset and you figure this out, then this right here, this script right here, I probably 2/3 of the FileMaker users out there in the world who do build solutions, like even at a basic level, very valuable script. I've been asked for this script on and off for 30 years, right? So invoice line items, quantity is right there. We'll specify and tell it to do dollar, is it dollar quan, right, Margaret? Okay. Then what we want to do is we want to do the price is the last one we want to do.
Yeah.
That
Okay,
way we
that'd
can
be
see
good.
some money show up, right? Price
Right.
is money, specify, and we're running out of time, but that's okay. We're doing good on time. Estimate line items. We're going to go to dollar IDs. Unit cost, unit price. We don't have to have a cost. Okay, that's okay. Price.
Oh, because the invoice, I don't need to see what the actual cost is.
Well, we're at the line items, but
Well, because if the customer can see the cost, they know how much
okay,
I'm
back up.
making
This
off
is
of them.
I know, but that's the print layout is different than our internal, because Mohammed calls us, he's a sales guy. He wants to know how much money he's going to make, right? So
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that. Like what invoice isn't necessarily the invoice the customer sees. Okay.
correct. That's a print job. That's different. So cool. Yep. That one I actually was ready for that one. So I'm going to go to invoices, line items. If I blow this, everyone, I'm trying to do a lot of technical things back to back. Unit price, and then I'm going to specify dollar price. So now we're going to, now we've done a bunch of stuff here. I'm going to comment that out. I'm going to comment these out, but they're there. I'm going to comment these out. I'm going to save the script. I am hoping this doesn't totally blow into tiny little chunks. So we are going to attempt to run it. I'm going to create, we've got Top Cats Kitty Rehoming Incorporated. I'm going to add a line. I'll just call it, Blue Chews for Weasels. Okay. Top Cat is selling blue chews for kitties. So we got that. So now we're going to try to run this. So here it is over here. I'm going to save it, and we're going to probably pop up we're going to go super small Richard. All right, so we're going to bring this over here. And I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to make this, I'm going to hide the left side. We're going to have it, let me close this, close. I'm going to go to the script debugger and data viewer. Ooh, that data viewer is micro. So small.
It's very wee.
It's very wee, like wee kitties. All right, so are we ready to engage the floofy? So Top Cat has people, he's trying to rehome a kitty. It comes with blue chews for cats, which I don't even want to think about what that means. All right, I'm going to start. Here we go. Pop a new window. Boink. Now pops it right over, so I'm going to move it out of the way a little bit. Step down. Set 3 variables. I'm going to come down here okay, the dollar variables will be at the very bottom because they're transient. Remember, dollar variables will die at the end of the script. So we have 3 that are set there. That looks good. Okay, now we're going to pop a new window. Oh, we forgot the new record. Ah! All right, stop.
Oh.
That would wipe out some other data. So any of you people saw this, you didn't say anything. You're like, dude, Richard's going to choke a horse. Save. Got to fix it. All right, stop. Try again. All right, notice that the local variables are gone now. All right, here we go. We're going to try it again. 1, 2, 3, go. Step. New window. Okay, so now I've got invoices and estimates. Now we can't really see. Now if I click over here, I click on this one, notice it pops back over. It won't let me really jump. It's because we're on this context. Now I'm going to say, watch this, 18 records, new record, boop, and then set and set. And then if I come over here, I'm on invoices. I should see 1 and 2. I'm thinking that worked. Okay. So now we're going to pop windows number 4 and 5. Pop. Now there's another new window. There's a line item. So we have estimates, invoices, estimates, line items. Okay. Then we're going to perform a find. I guess we only have 2 lines in.
We only had 2 line items. We had the floofy kitty and the blue
I know,
shoes.
but there would be other line items for other estimates. So this
But
is.
you did a find, right? You
I did a find.
So why wouldn't there be more? I'm confused.
Because this is a brand new file that had no estimates in it, right? So it's kind of, you don't have to test this with more. So say go to the first. Yeah, let me just stop that. Stop. All right, we need another estimate. Damn it, another estimate. And this is going to be a poll tax, cat tax, dog tax, fish tax. All right, let's try this again. Okay, go to this one up here, script debugger, data viewer, start again. See, this is what happens when you do 1, 2, 3, go. Step. Those create the base records. So now we have, back where we were, estimates. And you could put fields on here if you were having problems troubleshooting, okay? But I'm monitoring it through the data viewer. So now we're need to isolate the line item. So enter find mode, perform find, and 2 of 6. See, there you go. Now the found set work. We're going to go to the very first one. Now we're going to pop the last window. Now we have this window, okay? And we're going to start a loop. Go to the window. Now I'm going to tell it to go to estimate line. So it should pop this window forward here. 1, 2, 3, pop forward. Set variable. Now I'm going to come down here. Let's just take a look at the data viewer. Description, floofy kitty. Price is 33, quantity is 1. I don't know if I got the right number there, but that's probably pretty close. One of the numbers was 33. Okay, come back over here. Okay. Oops, it's down here. I actually clicked up there, but we're down here. Now we're going to pop back to we didn't pop a new window. We went back to the line items. Then we're going to say new invoice or new invoice line item. Then we're going to set these 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to select the estimates over here. And now we're on record 1. We're going to tell it to go to record 2. And now we're going to loop. Then it's going to do this all over again. Then we go back to estimates here. We're going to say go to next record, but there is a next record, so it should exit after last. We should exit the loop. Now, record missing, but we knew would be missing, and on the error that jumps out. Now close the previous 4 windows. Now, we are where we started, but that's not where we want to be. We want to be on invoices to look at the duplicate invoice. So I'm going to step down to invoices, invoices, and I'm going to go to the, that fired a script trigger. Watch out, we stepped on a landmine. Things are happening. Oh, another thing's happening. Okay, now we're back here. We're going to go to last record. Ah! I know what we did. We forgot to attach them. We created the line item. We forgot to attach them.
We didn't attach the invoice ID. Oh, no.
We were so close. All right, so let me hide that. All right, so what I need to do is when we created, so this was the create the, go to the estimate, copy it, create the invoice. I need to capture, right here, it's all set fields except for this one set variable. We need to set the, what I'm going to call it, the dollar invoice of where we're trying to go, right? Yeah, right? The primary key invoice, yeah.
So the invoice ID that just got generated when the new record was made.
And I'm going to put the variable up here, right there. So it captures that, then it sets these in there, okay, right? Mm-hmm. And then when we're down in here, so that's all our invoice, when we're down in here and we're creating a line item, I'm going to keep a couple extra ones in here so you get the idea. You can add more. I'm going to activate this one. I'm going to say set the invoice line item. It's the ID
invoice F right above that. There you go.
foreign key. There it is. And it goes to dollar invoice. Just dollar invoice. Is that what it was up there?
Yeah, I believe that's all it was.
Can't scroll up. It's not letting me scroll. Okay. Save. Scroll up. Dollar. Yes, dollar invoice.
Cool.
It really should say ID primary or something like that.
Yeah, but we're doing basic variable names.
Okay, so now that I've done all this, I'm not going to run the debubblizer at all. Okay, I'm going to delete this record right here. And then I'm going to go back to the top cat one, which was actually, that one is another bad one that we created. So now, so far we've attempted to run it 3 times.
You're in invoices, you need to be back in estimates.
Oh, I need to be in estimates. There we go. So let's change it. Quantity 2, and we need 70 blue chews. That's getting expensive. All right, we're going to run this. And I don't know if you're going to see any flashing or not, but we're going to try. 1, 2, 3, go. That was it.
That was instantaneous. Nice.
Any questions? Top cat, for clarity, shouldn't set the variable in the paste loop be a set field. That was that one earlier that I blew it. Canberra caught me there. So, all right. Anything else on this one? Pretty basic stuff, straightforward, but super valuable. And it's basic. Once again, basic mechanics. Basic mechanics. Yes, yes.
Yes. No, this is good.
Good. All right, everyone. Calvin will be here tomorrow. Does anyone who's left on the live stream have a specific problem, Jesse, you're trying to solve? You're probably plenty talented enough, but you want have Calvin walk through this process and do it. He'll take a slightly different take on it, but I think it's valuable to hear it from more than one instructor. So I'm going to let everyone go. Please send your request to support at RC Consulting. Make sure it gets to Calvin. Otherwise, Calvin's just going to have to arbitrarily make something up. Okay? All right? Awesome, everyone.
Have a good one. Bye.